Happy Friday, y'all. This is Tailgate Talk. I'm your host, Mike. My partner in crime, Tommy from the MSR. What's going on, buddy?
What is up, Mikey? Mikey, one more day till kickoff. One more day for the war to begin in Buffalo.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's the playoff time, man. We missed you on our Wednesday show.
Yeah, I
Playoff
was
prime.
busy.
I know you
I
had to
was
work.
I was busy kicking Patriot fans out of my bar. If you saw that,
I did see that.
coming in with his damn hoodie on.
It was awesome. It was awesome to catch. I will tell you though, when we get to prediction time, Tommy, I need you to come to my side because Paul and Mario and Joe, they did not bring it. They are nervous Nellies. They think it's going to be a 3-point game.
That's a shame. That's a damn shame. We're gonna have to get them back on tailgate kind of talk after this game and see why they would predict such a low, close scoring game.
Absolutely. We got a bunch of people in the chat with us already tonight. We got DM Mag, Nathan S, Vlad, Michael Reisman, Father Snowman, Rick Rarick, Spins in the house, Hen Dog's in the house. Welcome all. Matthew Harmon's in the house. Welcome. We're gonna quickly touch put the final recap on the Jets, and then we're gonna get into the wild card round talk. It's Bills Pats 3. So we'll start with last week. Tommy, the prediction you had at 27-3, I had at 34-17. It is what it is.
Come on, Mikey. Come on.
All right. You had Singletary and Wallace, and your D lineman was Oliver. I had Diggs and Jackson. So, once again, Motor picks it up. He's been solid, dude. He's been so solid.
Hey, what did I tell you? What did I tell you, Mikey, from the start of the season? That Motor Singletary should be our primary back, should be our number one option right now until we decide to pick up that stud running back. I believe he's a serviceable running back. I love that he's a team first guy. He never complained about this whole mix up of Zach Moss and Matt Breida coming to town. He just did his job. He brung his lunchbox. He came to work, man. And by the way, 870 yards for a guy that barely touched the ball for 3/4 of the season. That's not bad, guys. That's not bad, especially with this offensive line. Let's be real. Let's give the guy his credit.
Well, he averaged 4.6 yards a carry this year. Matter of fact, do you know Josh Allen was the number one per carry guy in all of football at 6.1?
I do.
But
I don't count quarterbacks.
I know. But for 188 carries, which I think he carried 188 times. He had like 800 and something yards and 6 touchdowns, and like all the touchdowns came in like the last 4 weeks.
Yep.
He's been solid. We found the running game ever since Rick Bates has been inserted in the lineup. You've seen the offensive line steadily get better every week, which is great.
Yeah, that is true. And Deion Dawkins, I feel, is 100% back now. I really do believe that. I believe he got his full strength back. It's showing. He's pancaking people. You could see he's physically stronger out there, which is a great sign, guys, going into the playoffs with this offensive line.
Yeah. Father Snowman comes in and says, Mike, I'm half asleep. Can you explain when we win, who we play next? So when we win, we'll either play Kansas City in Kansas City, unless Pittsburgh beats Kansas City, and then we would get the winner at home of Cincinnati and the Raiders. So depending on how it works out is depending on if we're at home or if we're on the road.
Correct.
So most likely it's going to be Kansas. We'll go to Kansas City.
It's fine.
So but I'll tell you, looking at that Jets game, starting off when Singletary broke that first one. You see that he just doesn't quite have that second gear.
No, but we knew that, Mikey.
Yeah, but we don't. You don't need the second gear. He still picked up 40 yards on that run.
Yeah, like 45, I think.
45.
Yeah.
We went down. He scored a touchdown anyway, so it's okay. It's just one of those things that
he's been that way, but he's been that way since college, guys. Like I'm just telling you, like his days at FAU, he was never the fastest, but he always made the first guy miss, and he always picked up positive yards. That's the good thing about Devin Singletary. He's never really picking up negative yards.
It's the difference between Devin Singletary and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor has that second gear. Devin Singletary doesn't. But they read the things the same. They, the vision, their cuts. They very rarely get tackled for losses. It's just one of them has a second gear, one of them doesn't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, listen, I told you guys if Najee Harris, and you remember this, Mikey, I said if he was available at our spot, he would have been a great pickup for us. And I told you guys Najee Harris was going to be good. I was right. But he didn't, and I was cool. I love the Gregory Rousseau pick. I didn't want to trade up for a running back. I still don't think we need to trade up for. We need to just stay calm. A running back will come, guys. They're all over the board. Second, third, fourth round, you can get a running back. Free agency.
It's fine if they want to pick up a speed demon that's going to complement Motor. That's fine, but Motor has proven to be solid.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, just correct I'd rather just fix the offense. Concentrate on the O line and the D line, and this offseason. And that's it. And then we'll worry about the running back. Maybe bring in a veteran that can complement him. Like you said, a cheaper guy on the low, bring him in and have him as a second back. But no, I don't want to do no trades, nothing crazy like that.
No. Richard Forkinson says everyone's sleeping on my man Singletary. He's not a burner, but he's got good vision to make people miss. And that's
Amen.
And that's what Bean loved, was that in the phone booth, he has the vision, he has the looseness, but how many backs really have that home run speed today? Or how many of them get to show it off?
Yeah, there's not a lot of really. How many solid backs are there? Like really unbelievable. There's some upcoming guys, but I mean, you got Jonathan Taylor, you got
Henry, Chubb, McCaffrey when he's healthy.
Yeah, but I don't even put him in because he can't stay healthy. He's been there.
Yeah, and I don't know if Kamara is a Swiss Army knife. So I don't really look at him as a full-time back. He's more of an offensive weapon.
I like Cook as well, but he gets hurt a lot.
Yeah,
gets hurt a lot.
I mean, you got a dozen of them out of 32 teams. There's 12 that are like really elite. You got some guys who are good, but really top tier backs. You got maybe 12.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, like I said, man, for what he did, for the amount of carries he got, it's solid. I got to be real with you, man. He didn't get a lot of love, a lot of looks in the beginning of the season, but he has definitely shown his value this last 4 weeks.
I want to go back to DM Mags. He says Groot was a great pick. It's he's going to get better and better the next years. Honestly, I think Groot was more of a need pick than a running back. If we would have chose a running back, say Najee was on the board along with Groot, Najee would have been more of a luxury pick. Groot's going to be more foundational. For a guy who just moved in, he's getting better and better every week. He played fantastic last week. And in a year or two, he's going to be really good. So
by the way, Singletary finished 16th. I mean,
middle of
16th,
and he wasn't even the lead back for most of the year.
He beat Montgomery from Chicago. Yeah, Montgomery from Chicago beat Aaron Jones.
Missed 4 weeks.
I'm just saying he's James Conner. I mean, he beat a lot of the Sony Michel. I mean, he was right there. Look, Josh Jacobs had 872. I mean, he's not as bad as you guys think. I mean, I'm thinking Bills Mafia now is starting to come around a little bit, Banky, on Devin Singletary. Yeah. Which is good.
But let's be perfectly honest. I mean, you have talked about this offline a bunch. The difference in Singletary's running this year, he went back, he reverted back to year one running. He finds the hole and he goes. Last year, there was a lot of dancing behind the line because there was no holes. So he's trying to figure out how to get through. And I think that's the biggest difference. If Singletary would have done what he did this year last year, I don't think there would have been any negative talk. But because he danced more last year, granted the offensive line wasn't any good and didn't open up any holes for him, so we threw the rock 100,000 times. But he's fine. He's hitting the hole quick with a great vision, and he'll take the 5-yard gain now. That's the big difference.
Yep. I agree.
So, we talked about Singletary. Allen was okay. The pass offense was okay.
Antonio's gone.
Yeah.
Didn't they cut him?
No, they brought him back.
Did they bring him back? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
They did. They cut him for 2 weeks, and then they brought him back, and they
okay.
They released him to put more receivers on the practice squad when we had a couple guys down, and then once those guys came back, we released them and brought Antonio back.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we watched Allen do what he's supposed to do. We got Diggs his money. It was the wind played a factor. And I don't know if you heard in the post game, they were talking about how we took the wind, and so we had it in the first and the fourth, and that's when we scored all of our points. It was in the first and the fourth quarter, and a lot of people were talking about how we had a lull in the middle of the game. The players were talking about how the wind was almost as bad as that crazy Monday night game. So that's the reason why, everyone's like, I'll tell you, I was right there with him. I was pissed watching the second and third quarter. Like, I don't understand why we're not running the ball more. Why are we always trying to throw the ball? It's not working. What are we going to do? And then hearing the guys talk about the crazy wind in the second and third quarter, because we had it in the first and fourth, it made so much more sense why all our scoring happened in those 2 quarters.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, but I still think Dable got caught up in his own ways once again.
He does.
But he did, to his credit, he did some in-game adjustments. He got Motor back involved. And it showed at the end of the, at the final score, what we did. We controlled that game defensively. We controlled that game. Let's be real. The offense could have scored 13. We would have been straight. I mean, they handle their business. They've been handling their business, Mikey. I've been telling everybody this defense has been like number 1 for like most of the season. It's incredible what this defense has done this season.
Yeah, and Shivas, you're right. Motor's pass blocking recently has been on point. He's
a rock. He's a rock, Mikey.
He's been on point this year. Dude. We gotta love that.
Yeah, I brung that up yesterday. I was saying, man, for a little dude, 5'7", bro, he packs on some. That dude has some meat, bro. He's 200 and something. I think 215. And these linebackers coming in full blitz, man, they get stuffed by him, man. He holds his ground very well. I gotta say that.
Is Moss gone next year? Why? We will get to that. We will get to that. And I saw a lot of people are talking about like the injuries for the Pats. We'll get to that. We just want to put the final stamps on the Jets game, and then we'll switch over. So let's talk about this defense. The offense was good. It did what it's supposed to do. This defense, man, was special last Sunday. It was special.
Facts.
Facts.
Everybody ate. Everybody ate.
And the Harrison Phillips and Ed Oliver combo is just being getting better and better as the year's gone on. Like, you can tell Harry's starting to get healthy.
Yeah, I agree. I was worried about him the start of the season. I really was. And he's proven me wrong. I always say I'll admit when I'm wrong about a player or a coach, and he's definitely proven me wrong. He's been playing better than Starr. I still don't think he's that guy to start. I still think we need to improve that D-line, but he's been a blessing this season. I got to say that.
Mm-hmm. Vlad comes in and asks, what do we do with Williams if Brown takes over the right, since he's taking over the right tackle spot? Do we still need to upgrade the right guard position? I don't know. The Bills front office seems to be very loyal to guys that they sign. You have to remember, Williams comes from the Carolina background, so he's had time with Bean and McDermott pre-Bills. I could see them keeping him at guard. I personally, if it was me running the team, he makes he has a very affordable contract for a tackle. I might be looking to flip him, to let him play tackle and then try to upgrade the interior, but his contract isn't so outrageous, as a guard either. So if they feel more comfortable with him keeping him as a guard, go out and see if we can find a replacement. Then year 3, we can cut him loose.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable keeping him one more season, to be honest with you. I think he's done well at that position.
He not only has he done okay, he's done okay. He hasn't done well.
I said well. I said well is okay.
No, well is not okay. There's a difference. He's done okay. He's been average. He's been average at guard. He's been an
average to good. He's come on.
Go back and watch it. Man. He's missing a lot of blocks that Josh is making up by getting around guys. He's been average at guard. However,
I disagree with all the. I disagree. I gotta disagree, Mike.
Fine.
With all the. I'm just saying, with all the offensive line shuffling that we've done this season, I got to give him a little bit of a break in what he's done. He's been right tackle, right guard, this position. Like, I think he's done. Okay. Listen, I'm not saying he's done great, Mikey. I don't think he's lived up to his contract, to be honest with you. But I below average now. I think he's done a little bit above average. I think he's average or good, and I think he's starting to play better now that Spencer Brown's on it. I think this whole old line is actually proving a lot of people wrong, kind of, because they've come out lately and their pass blocking way better. Run blocking is still shaky at times, but their pass blocking, which was concerning, Mikey, you know this. Josh Allen has been clean lately, so got to give him credit. I got to give him credit.
If you want to give him a pass, that's fine. We can dig into it more in the off season on
no doubt.
That's fine. But ultimately, I think where I think he succeeded the most is he's a fantastic teacher for Brown. Having a right guard who's used to playing that spot next to him to help him, to give him tips, in-game tips, is invaluable. You know what I mean? It's so you can't put a price tag on that. Yeah. So I'll take the average guard play because he's a better tackle than he is a guard. It's just he is. It's just he's a better guard than any of the other guards that we have on the roster.
Correct.
So that's why he's there. And Brown's a better tackle than the drop off is Brown's a better tackle. He's a better guard. That combo is better than having him at tackle and one of the other guys at guard. So
right.
No, and I want to touch base on Hendog's chat. He says Basham, Oliver, Phillips group for the next front for the next 4 years. Don't forget about Epinesa. Epinesa played very well last week, and he has played better since he got hit the game day inactive. So last few games he's been coming back on. Basham, I'm still not sold on Basham yet. Yeah, he's played solid when he's got his chances, but most of it's in mop-up duty time. So we'll be interested to see how him. I think Oliver, Phillips, and Groot definitely. I'll be interested to see how the battle between Epinesa, Basham, and D and 4 plays out, because they're playing for one side, but they rotate all throughout the game anyway, so it doesn't really matter who the starter is.
Yeah, that's true.
But let's talk a little bit about our defense last week. They gave up 5 net passing yards.
Yeah, it's wild.
That is.
That's really wild. But listen, Mikey, that's because we brung the heat. He just had nowhere to. He had to get rid of the ball. You throw the ball away under pressure. I mean, that's very tough for a quarterback to have a good completion percentage when you're being hounded all day long, man. 9 sacks, Mikey. He was hearing ghosts, man, right? As they say, right? So that's why his completion percentage and his yards were so low. There was just no time for him. And I really hope that's what we do against Mac Jones. I hope we do a lot of disguised blitzes as well, and just kind of just fool him, because that's what Frazier does. I keep telling everybody, Frazier loves these rookie quarterbacks, man. He absolutely loves them.
Yeah. So there's so much hate for Cody Ford
Oh, dude,
in the
Ford.
chat. There's so much hate for Cody
Yeah, I
Ford in the
can't.
chat.
I can't. Yeah.
Speaking of, Tommy, when you get your O line that's coming on Mafia
Oh,
Sports Report,
yeah.
one of my questions that I have for him is about Cody Ford.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
How does that transition from college to pros, and being a high pick like that? Because he's been in the locker room, he knows he was with the Bills for 3 years. He kind of understands that. Like, what's not clicking that's making him struggle? Because he has all the talent in the world. Like, we see it. He's very talented. So what is it that makes someone like that just not be able to not have it click? So I love.
Dude.
That's one of my.
Yeah.
That's just because I've always wanted to ask a lineman that question, because we not only did we have it with Cody Ford, but we've had it with other guys like Cyrus Kwanjo. Kwanjo was the same way at Alabama. Super talented, like athletic as hell. Like, something just didn't click for him.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, no, I have a lot of questions for him.
So, anyways, the special teams was okay. Hack was garbage. Hack was garbage.
Somebody brought up the guy on the Locked On Bills. I forget his name. He had a good little, he brought up a decent thing. He was saying that you could, and he said it probably won't happen, but he said he wouldn't mind it, that you have, because it's too late to change holders right now, and wouldn't it be good for Bass? I agree. But he was saying that you could call up the other kicker and have him punt. Yes, and have him handle punt duties and Hack just hold the ball. You could do that, but then you would have to take somebody out, if you really are that concerned. But he was saying McDermott seems to be just sold on Hawk for the rest of the season. So, but I wouldn't mind it. I'll be honest, depending on who they who they don't dress that day, But I'm just saying, think about it. Really windy day in Buffalo, and they're not going to do it. But come on, man, with Hack punting, I mean, it could be a disaster, guys. I'm just saying.
Well,
so hopefully that doesn't happen.
Here's the problem. Well, first off, we already see who was elevated, and the elevations, and we'll get to a lot of it. The elevations are Eli Anku, who's a defensive tackle, who I think it could play a huge role. I talked about it on our playoff primer with Paul and Mario. And then Joe Giles Harris, the linebacker, is also another guy who came up. So we didn't bring up the Scottish Hammer.
Somebody said it's not somebody said it's not going to be that windy. Dude, it's Buffalo, bro. I don't care if they tell you it's going to be 5 mile per hour wind. Do that. Like, let's put another 10 on top of that.
They say
I do not trust any weather report saying about the wind in Buffalo that day. It's windy always.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. At the end of the day, but I don't want to spend too much time because everyone wants to talk about the game tomorrow. So, any last final thoughts on the Jets before we move on?
Yeah, they're a really bad team. They took care of business.
Did you hear that at the end of the season press conference they talked to Saleh and they asked him who was the best team you played this year? And he said by far the Bills.
Oh, he's like, at least he's an honest coach.
Yeah, he's like top to bottom. He's like you have Josh Allen, who's just a freak of nature. They have and then they have a great, amazing wide receiver core, and that defense is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you're going to touch base on this, but Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde got the love today.
They did. Jordan Poyer got first team All Pro.
Yeah.
Micah Hyde got second team All Pro.
Yes. So golf
finally. Yeah. gotta give them.
Now that's the
and their love.
That's the real deal. And I'm happy for him. Well deserved.
Yes. Well deserved. Absolutely well deserved. But so let's switch over to our awesome injury report time. On the Bills injury report, nobody.
Zero.
We're healthy.
Absolutely.
We got nobody.
That's unbelievable.
That means Obata's back and Sanders is back, and no new injuries.
No, going in healthy. Everybody's back. The old line is 100% now. We're gonna miss Trey, obviously.
Yeah.
But other than that, guys, momentum, no injuries. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that. Playing at home. I mean, like, yeah, it's great to be a Buffalo Bill fan right now.
It absolutely is. And then on the Patriots side, they have a laundry list of dudes who are questionable. The main ones is their cornerback Mills is out on COVID still. Okay. He could test out tomorrow morning, but if he tests out tomorrow morning, that's still going to be no practice, no nothing for the whole week because he tested out on Tuesday. So he still has to test out. My guess is he probably, if he didn't test out today, he's probably not going to be tested out. And then they have Barmore, who was carted off last week, who has a knee injury. He said it wasn't major, as a minor injury, so chances are he's gonna play. He's just gonna be limited. And then, sorry. And then you have Duggar, who didn't play last week with a hand injury. My guess it's the playoffs. He's going to play. He's still questionable. And then Wynn, their left tackle, who has an ankle injury, who didn't practice all week. Chances are Wynn's not going to play. So those are the major ones. I mean, they have other guys on here. They have David Andrews, shoulder. He's going to play. They have Collins, ankle, who's going to play. They have Nick Folk, left knee, their kicker, who's been on the injury report all year long. He's going to play. They have Damian Harris, hamstring. He's going to play.
Yeah, we'll see how. But that, Mikey, that's not that. Listen, Harris in the cold, that can really catch up to you. Those hamstrings.
He's been on the injury report since the first Bills game.
No, I know, but when he played us, when he was came back, he was still hobbling at times.
They said Wynn is out. Spin came in and said Wynn is out, and Vlad came in and said Barmore is out.
Okay,
I did not see that. Okay, Spin said they announced on ESPN that Wynn is out, not questionable. Okay, so they changed it from when I saw it earlier. They were both questionable when I saw it earlier, so that changed. So if they lose Barmore and Wynn in their trenches, because the Patriots don't flip guys around. So, if there's the Bills, they would then take Brown, they put him at left tackle, then they take Iwanu and put him at right tackle. They don't do that. They keep Brown at right tackle. They throw whoever the backup left tackle is, which is like the third left tackle. He goes in, and then Iwanu's their sixth lineman when they run. So, whoever is going to go up against the left tackle is going to have, a favorable matchup this week.
Yep.
Trickson says Belichick doing those mind games with all those questions.
Does it all the time.
Yeah, he does it all the time. He put Tom Brady on the injury report all year one year. So, it is what it is. It happens. It happens. Believer talking in the house. Joe's in the house. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Joe.
Joe's in the house.
Mean Joe.
Putting his kids to bed. Trying to listen. So right on, Joe. Matthew Harmon comes and says Mills and Wade still on the COVID list. So both of those guys are still on the COVID list. It is what it is at the end of the day. We play who's in front of us, right? Is that the way they say it all the time?
Right. Can't control that.
Can't control. You can only control the controllable. The controllable is that we play the guys that are sitting in front of us. So do you have any more injury updates? Otherwise, I'm going to get into the LinkedIn read.
No. That's it. We're going. Right. We're full capacity. Yeah,
we'll roll right into the LinkedIn read. It says it can be hard to find and hire the right candidates for your small business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs made it easier to find people you want to talk to faster and for free. And as Paul likes to say all the time, he's a hiring manager, and it would make his job a whole lot easier. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your jobs for free at linkedin.com/HTS #sports. That's linkedin.com/HTS to post your jobs for free. Terms and conditions apply. We thank LinkedIn for everything they do for #sports and being a sponsor, as well as Mr. Rogers Homes. Sean Rogers is very much Bill's Mafia. We appreciate him as well. So from there, we'll move on into the actual game, round 3. Tommy, where do you want to start?
Well, what I would say is, listen, guys, number one, there's empty seats still. If you live in Buffalo, buy a ticket and fill that stadium up. That's one. We want a packed house, okay? I don't want no empty seats there. Guys, please, no excuse. I know it's cold, but come on, you're from Buffalo. Let's fill that up. If I lived there, believe me, I'd be going. That's one. Two, I saw a comment here about McKenzie, and we'll get to that. But yes, I definitely think McKenzie will play a role in this game again. And I think Dable saw something the last time we played, and I'm hoping that McKenzie is involved in this offense.
Yeah. See, I think you're giving too much credit to Dable, thinking that he would actually use McKenzie.
You got a good point. I'm sorry. I take that back. Oh, good Lord.
I don't know if they will. I hope they find a way to get him into the offense. However, from what we've seen since that game, and we got back both Beasley and Davis, and then now Sanders is back as well. I don't see Dayball pulling any of them off the field to put McKenzie in. I just don't see it.
I would. I'm not saying you have, but Mikey, I'm not saying right. You agree, but if Dayball doesn't, that's just a dumb move. Like, it doesn't even mean you have to get him necessarily involved. Like, he has to get the ball, but if you have him in there, it's just a reason for the Patriots to go, okay, we got to cover this guy. We got to watch this guy. That's the whole point of having McKenzie in there. Like, have him do some jet sweeps. Just do what works with McKenzie. Have him go on these routes. Not only that, though, Mikey, when Josh is running, in that game, if you watch that game, yes, there were some design plays from McKenzie, but some of them were because Josh Allen was on the scramble, and McKenzie's just super fast and was kind of playing backyard football. His speed, they couldn't match. So having McKenzie out there isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially when Josh needs help. And when Josh is scrambling, needs the receiver to get open, he's the guy that kind of has the speed to get open. They're too busy covering Stephon Diggs, right? They're watching out for Cole Beasley, Dawson Knox. So who's the X factor? It's McKenzie. He's the guy that they can't be guarded. There's only so many defensive backs, guys, and that was the problem with the Patriots. They could not find a guy to match his speed the last game. That's why I kind of like him on the field. But like you said, will Dable do it? Will Dable go back to what worked the last time? He's been known not to go back to what works. I don't know why, but he tends to do that.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Believer Talk, Joe comes in and says, "Will not have a single pass catcher with over 6 passes. Spread the ball." I can see that. I can see that.
I don't think so. I think we'll have. Yeah.
You do?
I do. I think Dawson Knox will be that guy.
Okay. Yep. Sanders, it's the wide receiver to shadow Allen. Here's the deal, and we talked about this on our playoff primer. Tommy, you missed this. I want to get your take on it. So the way the Bills ran the offense the last time in the Week 16, we talked about McKenzie. McKenzie ran the routes that were designed. Beasley doesn't run those routes. Everything Beasley runs is an option route. Everything Diggs has been running lately has been option routes. Do you think Daboll is relying too much on options and not enough on schemed routes? Actually scheming up the routes. Because if Josh and the receivers aren't on the same page on those option routes, that's led to more turnovers this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Listen, Mikey. We're getting it's not even about that. At the end of the day, to beat this Patriot team in this weather, we're going to need to play how we exactly played in Week 2. Scratch Week 1 out. I don't care about that stuff. Listen, we're going to need to get Singletary involved a lot quicker in this game. right? We cannot go pass heavy in this game. Can't do it. All right. Other than that, I would do the exact same game plan that we did week 2 with Cole Beasley involved. And I don't see why that can't open up receivers. And I don't see why Dawson Knox can't be that extra guy that gets over 6 catches, by the way. He's going to be Josh Allen's blanket in this game. I'm telling you right now. When Josh Allen goes to usually roll out, Dawson Knox is usually the guy he finds. So I see Josh Allen.
Well, in game 2, Knox didn't have a big game. He had 2
Knox,
catches.
but Knox just got back from injury too. Knox's hand was all jacked up still. I think Knox
played like better 4 weeks before that.
Knox
and had big games.
Knox is. I believe in this
took
game.
Knox out. They took Knox out of the game plan.
Well, there was also no Cole Beasley.
So that goes to my question. You're not answering the question. I get what you think we should do. What I'm asking is, do you think Daboll's relying too much on option routes and not enough on schemed up routes?
I guess. I mean, no. I'm going to say no. I don't.
You don't?
No.
You think you should go ahead and let the whole receiver corps just run option routes?
Yeah. I mean, not all the time, but I don't think that's
what we're doing.
I'm just saying. I don't think it's a problem though, Mike. Okay. Where's the problem? I'm just saying we were a top 5 offense. Pretty much.
No,
I mean, what's wrong with what's wrong with that? I don't understand.
Look at the games that we were leading up to it. And this is what I was getting at with Paul and Mario and Joe is when we were running option routes, the almost pick that they had in game 2 against Diggs was an option route that both Diggs and Allen didn't read. Everything McKenzie ran was a designed route. There was no option to it. He just ran across the field. That was his route. The pick against, I think it was Atlanta, where Beasley ran a seam route and stopped, and Josh threw the seam route and got picked off. Those are all option routes. If you look at a lot of Josh's interceptions this year are based off of option routes that they didn't read the same way. And the majority of I've noticed that a lot this year, the majority of our offense this year have been options. Let the receivers run out and get open. And they're not reading it the same way.
I get it, but I don't.
Watched McKenzie have freaking 11, 12 catches, 100 and something yards, and a touchdown on designed routes.
I don't know. I disagree. I'm sorry.
So you would just let them run out and keep running?
I'm not saying all the time. I'm just saying I don't think it's bad. Yeah, I would.
Okay. All right. That's
listen, sometimes I honestly feels like
you can't be mad when
I'm just
Josh
saying this
misses
season
and he throws an interception. If you're for the option routes and they're not on the same page, you cannot be mad when they miss.
This season, though, Mikey, him and Diggs for some reason aren't always on the same page, which is odd because the first season they were.
Or
first
Beasley.
Season, no, in Beasley, you're right. But maybe
he's not on the same page with
but maybe they will start. Maybe and hopefully that changes. And I believe it will. I would say just keep with it. Honestly, you got to keep with what's been working. I understand what you're saying. The interceptions have led to a couple of interceptions here and there, but I think they're comfortable with that, Mike. I do. I say you stick with that, but I get where you're coming from. But I understand where you're saying though. I understand where you're coming from.
That's fine. We'll move on. So, what do you need to see with this game when they come out? What exactly is it that you need to see Buffalo's offense do to get moving?
Well, we need to run. Here's what I say. I still think we're a pass to run team, right? You got to pass to open up the run. I still think that. I still believe that. But you got to get Motor involved, and I think Motor has to at least get 17 to 22 carries around that range in this game. I think you got to come out fast. We got to score in that red zone, touchdowns, not field goals. That's the key. And I think once we jump on New England early, New England's going to have to play catch up, and they're not going to be able to run the ball like they did that first game, which was ridiculous. But that's because our offense stalled every single time. So if our offense gets on track early, plays aggressive, McDermott also is aggressive, just like he was in game 2, we'll be just fine. That's where I see it. You got to be aggressive against New England, especially. Those 4th and 1s, I don't mind. Those 4th and 2 calls, I did not mind them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I like aggressive McDermott. Aggressive McDermott equals aggressive offense, and it tends to allow the team to play a little freer. I've noticed. I'll tell you,
Trust
my
his
keys
players.
on offense. Yep, my keys on offense is for, and I preach this on the primer as well. Josh to take the profits. Don't go chasing the big play.
Yeah.
Take
what's
what got us in the role early last time was Josh hitting Singletary out of the backfield. Josh hitting McKenzie on those short 0 to 5 yard passes.
Take what's
and then
there.
they not only that, because they dropped so deep to take away that 10 to 20 yard range, allowed the underneath guy to catch it and run and get first downs.
Yep.
So take those profits. We do that. Yep. We put together the drive. We go down. We score, and then we get rocking.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that, Mikey. That's a great point. By the way, take what's there. Listen, it's a 5-yard, 4-yard pass. Singletary or whoever's going to get it is going to get a couple more yards on top of that. I mean, they proved that last time. Singletary will get a 5-yard pass. He make it to 9, 10, 11. So chip away just like that. You don't need to go, like you always say, chasing the dragon. That's
chasing the dragon.
Mikey loves that.
Don't chase the dragon.
You're gonna trademark that, or that's already been trademarked?
I don't know. It's just something I've heard someone say it before.
Oh, okay.
They say chasing the dragon is actually like a drug term. I've heard, and it's like a heroin thing. It's like chase the high, chase the.
We're gonna get you a hat that says "Don't chase the dragon."
Don't chase the dragon. I just want him to take the profits. Take the profits, and let's move forward. Hey, Mikey, options for Allens are always good. Yeah, and I'm okay with that. What I need to see with the options are, be able to read the defense the same way. I'm sick of seeing options where they're not reading the same way, or if that's happening, scrap that and start running actual design plays. Give Josh options. Run the RP. I'm okay with the RPOs and give Josh the run pass option. Move him around. Get him out of the pocket. Throw some screens. The screen was working fantastic last time.
It was.
If they're if they're gonna play a shell like they did in game 2, where they're just gonna play for spy and not rush Josh, and just kind of like hover so he doesn't break the pocket, then fine. We don't run the screens. We run the short crossers and things like that because Josh doesn't have time to throw. But if they're trying to get to him and send the guys off the edge, throw those screens, run the bubbles. Get it.
By the way, he was trusting on those RPOs. By the way, he was giving the ball to Singletary a little few more times than he normally does, and I think it caught the defense off guard. Yeah, and the defense was like, "Wait a minute, whoa!" A running back getting the ball, so. That I like to see more too, by the way, Mikey. Let Motor have that ball instead of you always taking it and running with it, because the defense 9 times out of 10 they're hawking Josh Allen on that. So
not only that, give it up. On when we give Motor the ball, let's not give Motor the ball on a dive RPO. Let's give them the ball on a sweep where they're going opposite way. So we can use Motor to use his vision, pick a hole and then drive through it. Kevin comes in and asks, how many turnovers do you think the D gets tomorrow? And do you think we get any touchdowns on the defensive side?
That's a good question. I would say no touchdowns, but I would say I could see a sack fumble on Mac Jones, and I could possibly see an interception. So I would say at least 2 turnovers, an interception, and a sack fumble. I don't think we're going to have a touchdown for it, but 2 turnovers. Hey guys, that's good. I'll take that all day. So yeah, I can see a sack fumble, interception.
I also would love to see it on their side of the field to give our offense short field to set up points. Because that's just as good as getting points is setting us up for points.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So DH comes in and says the Pats are really in a bind this game. They can't play man because they're afraid of Josh's running. They can't play zone because they'll pick them apart. Really, with them, if they truly are down those guys, and Barmore's really out, and our O line comes to play like they have been, and they give Josh the time that he's had, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a problem for New England. What people aren't talking about, no one's talking about it really in the media, is the Patriots limped into the playoffs. They lost 3 of their last 4, and Tua lit them up. Lit them up.
They have not looked.
They had a rookie running back that busted for over 100 yards against them. The Pats are ranked 22 in rush. Defensive rushing.
That's why I was shocked that we did not run the ball the first game when we played them, Mikey. They were just as bad then as they are now against the run. That's why Dable does Dable things, because that's what he does. Did you know the Jets were the 32nd ranked rushing defense, and he just got the ball running later on in the game, which was weird.
Dable got cute. Dable got cute.
Yeah, got cute. Yeah, that's it.
I love this one from Triggs. He says, listen, just unleash Allen. Don't want Dable or McDermott holding them back. Yes, Allen, if you have the lane, go. It's okay to use your legs. We're in one and dones at this point. There is no let's save Josh for next week.
I agree. Yeah, let Josh.
Run. Because as Josh starts picking up yards, especially if he runs some zone RPOs and things, that's only going to open up Singletary more going the other way, because everyone's going to follow Josh. They're afraid of him beating them with their legs. They've said so in the media this year.
Right. No, I always said, let Josh be Josh. And Josh's best runs come from when they're not designed plays, when they're just Josh looking at his reads and saying, it's not there. I see a hole. I'm gone. Those are Allen's best runs. The design runs are the scary ones. Those are the ones where I cringe, because, a lot of times they don't work, especially the ones up the middle. I cannot stand when he runs up the middle. But yeah, I agree. You got to let Josh be Josh. McDermott has to. This playoff season, Mikey, McDermott and Dable have to let the handcuffs go. You got to let Josh be Josh. Get the handcuffs off him and let him play ball. I'd rather go down swinging than not swinging at all. And I felt like last year we did the opposite. We had him handcuffed. Our whole offense was just handcuffed, really, and especially him. So this season, hopefully McDermott and Dable have learned their lessons, and we'll see what happens, Mikey.
Why I like this comment. He has a feeling that Bill Belichick's going to try a fake punt tomorrow. I have a feeling they're going to pull everything out of their bag, because they look in knowing that they are an inferior team. At the end of the day, they lost 3 of 4. Everyone talked about how great the Patriots were, but when they went on that run, they went on a run against a bunch of below 500 teams. And then when they played the 500 teams at the end, they lost. So it's not like they were, world beaters. Belichick is a fantastic defensive mind. But if you stop their run and you put the game in McCorkle's hands, they're not going to beat you, especially with our number 1 ranked pass defense. Everyone talks about Josh and, the offense has to do this. Don't forget, we have a defense that's ranked number 1 overall.
Correct. No, I said that in the beginning of the show. A defense that's been ranked in the top 5 all year, ranked number 1 for many, many weeks. So going against guys, a rookie quarterback who's struggled lately and struggled against us both games, if we're going to be real. He only threw it 3 times the first game. The second game, he was terrible. Frazier's I'm telling you guys, listen, Mac Jones is not going to be the reason why the Bills, if they lose, which they won't, lose this game. Mac Jones is not going to be the one. And I think the Bills defense is going to do exactly what they did last time we played them, which was minimize the run. We're not going to be great. I would think they're going to get a little over 100 yards, 150, something like total yards. But that's fine. I can deal with that if that's what their game plan is. Just keep them out the end zone, and we'll be good to go, man. 14 points, all we gave up week one, the first week that we played them, first time. Shoot, guys, we should be able to win with that. Should be able to win.
Yeah. Believer Talks, Joe comes in and asks, says, in both wildcard games, we played since Josh Allen's been a quarterback, we've tried a wide receiver pass. I don't see that. Stop letting Josh catch a pass, because every time he does, we lose.
Not this game. Yeah, it won't happen. It won't happen this game. They're not. I don't think that's one thing. I don't think they'll get cute in this game, Mike. Too cute. Now they might. I hope they give some jet sweeps and stuff like that, but flea flicker passes or wide receiver pass, I don't see that happening in this weather. I can't see it happening, Mikey.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I don't see them getting cute either. I have a feeling we're gonna, because it's gonna be super cold.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be super windy, but I think it's gonna be super cold. So we're probably gonna put our big boy pants on and try to pound the rock. Like when it gets cold, the ball gets slippery, so you're not gonna want to throw the ball around a ton. And Correct. Josh has a howitzer for an arm, and that's gonna bounce off receivers' hands. So they'll probably play it safe, throw the shorter routes, take the profits and run the ball,
and let the defense give them good field position. And we gotta be better in the red zone in this game. Put points on the board when we're there. That's what will close the show, guys. The 3 points will
touchdowns,
not close the show.
not field goals.
Exactly.
Get those up points early. On the board. That's what we did in week 16. We got up early. Go out there, get up early, make them put the ball in McCorkle's hands. Yeah, if they want to just keep running the ball, that's fine. They're going to try to just keep running the ball to let the game run out. They don't want to get embarrassed. That's fine.
Right.
Because
I agree.
Belichick has proven he's not going to put Mac in a bad spot.
No,
he'd rather just run the ball rather than let Mac to break his confidence. You know what I mean?
I agree. I totally agree.
Okay, here we go. Sweep screens to get the ball out quick, and cash in. Yep. Yeah, take what's there and cash in. Run those sweeps. I would love to see a few, jet sweeps or that little pop pass. Get McKenzie going there. I'll tell you get McKenzie on the field and you get him running around, like motioning, they're going to key him after what he did to them. So even if you use him as just a decoy, and go to Diggs, because they're going to put man on man with J.C. Jackson on Diggs, and Diggs will burn him like he always does. But don't forget, we still have Sanders and Beasley and Davis that can all do work too, and Knox. So we have the weapons.
Yeah. By the way, did you see the Wildcat we did last week?
I did. I want to see more of that.
Bro, it picks up. I tell people all the time, 9 times out of 10, the Wildcat will get you a couple yards.
And one of these times, we're gonna run that Wildcat, and they're gonna run in like it's gonna be a run, and he's gonna throw it.
Right.
And he may throw it to Josh, who's standing by himself over on the sidelines.
Maybe
that's the quarterback pass that Joe was talking about.
I can see it. Yeah.
Out of the Wildcat.
I can see it.
I think red zone's been a focus in practice all week. Red zone's been a focus probably the second half of the year. Because we struggled early, but we've gotten a lot better down the stretch.
We have. Yeah,
I think we're a top 10 in red zone now. We finished the year in top 10 in the red zone.
Okay. And touchdown percentage. Okay.
Yeah. I think they ended up in the top 10 at the end of the year, because they got real good there for like a stretch where they were like 4 out of 5, 5 out of 7, things like that down the stretch, because we weren't hitting the big plays that for long touchdowns. Everything was long drives, and we put them in. Yep. Vlad comes and says, agree. Once we're in the red zone, we must come out with 6. That's the biggest.
Got it.
Don't turn the ball over and score touchdowns in the red zone. That will win you a ton of games in the league. If there's a dollar bill on the ground, Dayball wouldn't pick it up. Hoping to find $5 bill later doesn't take the obvious. Yeah. It is what it is.
Shit.
I love the fact that on the defensive side, I love the fact that we called up Eli Enku. He's a stout defensive lineman who's helped us change our run game. Because early on in the runs, what I would love to see is what we kind of did in week 16, where we had Oliver at the end. So we don't have a smaller Jerry Hughes in. We have Oliver at the end. We have Harry and Starr and Enku anchoring the middle. And we have Rousseau and Addison sharing times in the DN spots.
Yeah.
To bring the beef when they want to run.
Right. Just don't over pursue. Because that's the only negative we've done on defense the last 4 weeks, I want to say, Mikey, is we always have 1 or 2 over pursue plays where we get caught slipping. And then we tighten right up in those games, if you notice. Like if we let one big yard, 60-yard, okay, all right, we're gonna not do that again. And they do it fine. But let's keep that to none. No big runs on us, please.
Yeah. Play sound football. Play sound football.
Right.
Stay in your gaps. Don't give the backside cut, because they will cut back. That's what they're key. That's what they're so good at. A lot of their big runs come off of, cutting back against, over pursuing, and they cut back and they find a lane. Correct. So, stay in your lane, and tackle.
That's it.
Believers Talk coming in and says, will Matt Hack have a punt over 35 yards? I agree with Matt Harmon, who says Hack won't punt at all. I want to see a 0 punt game from Hack.
That'd be great. 0 punts. No, I don't
DH, I agree. Can't have missed tackles.
Yeah. We've been much better, though, this season with tackling, by the way. We were terrible last season at tackling. It's gotten way better. I have to give
We were terrible against Tennessee. We were terrible against Tennessee tackling. And that's really been the one game that we've been really terrible at tackling was against Tennessee.
Yeah. But you're going to have, like somebody said in the chat earlier, can't be perfect all the time. You're going to have a bad game here and there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's not have any in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that.
Right.
Because here's the thing. Like the Bills are built for the playoffs. We get past the Patriots. We're built to beat KC. That's what we built our team for. And that's who we get in the next round. And then we'll probably either get the Cincinnati or the Titans, whoever wins that game. Right. Like our steps to get there, like we could do it this year. For as bad as we played all year long at times and stretches, like a lot of the super hard competition that could mess with us didn't make the playoffs. Like the Chargers, super talented, fantastic quarterback. You know what I mean? Didn't make the playoffs. The Colts, who are a ground and pound that don't match up with us well, didn't make the playoffs.
All right.
Like the playoff seeding, the way it fell, kind of helps us. We have a couple rough games. The Patriots aren't as talented as us, but they know us so well, and they have Belichick. So that always makes it nervous. Always makes you nervous.
Yep. And it's the AFC East team. They see us twice every year, and now this is the third time. So they know us, we know them. That's why it's going to be a dog fight for a little bit. For a little bit till we take.
I think we go out and we score. If we go out and score early, we're going to take their souls.
Yeah.
And then we after we get through, if we get through the KC, then it's the Titans. Then we get into the NFC side, and I'll tell you, I look over on the NFC side, and I don't see any super superior teams on that side of the ball. Like the league is so even this year than it's ever been because it's been so up and down. It's who gets hot at the right time. The Bills have won 4 straight. We haven't even hit our peak yet. Now it's time to start getting into our peak.
That's right. I have us going against the Packers, by the way. That was my prediction to start the season.
That was FanDuel's prediction, too. FanDuel sent out a tweet, and they have us beating the Packers in the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Nice. There you go. We play them, by the way, guys, next year at home, Green Bay.
Yeah. Matthew Harmon comes and says, I agree with Kyle Brandt. Second half of Tampa Bay was the turning point. Yeah, and Tommy's been preaching that, for
since
weeks.
The night it happened. When I came on, guys, I went on post game, and all y'all, I mean, maybe not all y'all in this chat, but a lot of you guys were rich. Mikey, I'm telling you, they were shredding me to pieces, calling me a soft, calling me all sorts of names, Mikey. And I said, calm down, Bills Mafia. What I just saw, I have to feel I'm proud of. Something happened there. A switch went on, a light went on, and every one of those players, and they even talked about it, Mikey. I think it was Dawson Knox. They had a Bills video today. They brung up that game, and he's like, Like we all talked during the locker room at halftime, and we were like, "Hey, are we gonna lay down? Are we gonna fight and whatever?" And I'm telling you guys, that was it for me. Like I felt like something happened that game, and boy, oh boy, was I right, Mikey. It's
you
been
were
on since.
like I told you going into that game, I had zero, I didn't have any expectations anymore. My expectations went out the window.
Yeah,
because we
I
weren't
remember
playing
talking
well.
to you. I remember talking to you, by the way. Me and Mikey, see, the thing about me and Mikey, we text back and forth during the game, right? Mikey kind of like stays away from. I don't know. Are you on Twitter at all? Are you tweeting? Or you
no, I don't do Twitter during the game.
Mikey texts back and forth, and Mikey was heated, boy. And I'll admit I was a little heated too. But during the second half, long story short, we're going back and forth, and I'm like, "Hey, Mikey, well, hold on now." And I'm saying it may not be over if we do this and this. And Mikey's like, "Nah, it's we're not coming back." Boo. I'm like, mad. "Well, hold on, we're down by 10, Mikey. Wait, hold on, we're down. It's tied, Mikey." Mikey, quiet.
No, I was mad, and then to lose on a cheap little drag route was just
bullshit. Was all that work, and the refs took it from us, but that's okay. Like I said, something good came from that.
Yeah,
that game.
I like what Sven says here. He says he's not nervous.
Neither
I
am
love
I.
that. I love that. I love that. Because you know what? I don't feel they're going to win either. I absolutely feel the Bills are going to walk in, lay the smack down, and walk out. So I absolutely agree with you guys on that.
Matthew say POB to you, Tyler?
Yeah.
What's POB? What's that mean? Props? POB?
I don't know.
Well, I know POS. It would have been piece of shit to you, Tyler. I don't know POB. Props?
I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah. I don't know the slang. I hope it's something good.
Oh, I love this one. Triggs. Allen should do the Ric Flair on the Patriots when they win.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah. Dave, look for broken fingers, gouged eyes, and concussions in this game. Pat on the back is what POB means. Pat on the back.
Thank you.
I like this one. Spin. Imagine how many interceptions Poyer and I would have if Trey didn't get injured. You know what? Maybe it's time to talk a little bit about our corners. How Levi Wallace and Dane Jackson have stepped up,
boy.
And Teron Johnson. Can't forget about Teron.
Yeah,
but they have definitely stepped up this year to fill in for takeaway Trey.
Yeah, 100%.
Very proud of them.
Yeah, and Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde for handling the business back there, getting the young guys like Dane Jackson and Teron Johnson motivated, get caught up. I mean, it's been nothing. Listen, that whole DB safety, man, they've been playing very good football, Mikey. Like very sound football too. They're not making too many mistakes. And I don't even really mind that one mistake that Poyer did last week. I really don't, Mikey. I thought he was going for it. If he would have got it, we would have loved it. He was inches away from it.
He didn't fear the jet, so he tried to jump something. And
yeah. So I didn't mind it, is what I'm saying. Like I really didn't hate the effort like on that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But overall, yes, Levi Wallace has been phenomenal as well, man. He just doesn't get enough credit for what he's done, filling in as the number one right now for that Trey's out.
Yeah, he's been getting it done. He's gonna get a nice little payday this offseason. And Joe, don't you dare put that bad juju in the air. I am not gonna answer this. How dare you put that bad juju in the air?
Damn it, Joe.
And the defense are gonna show up. We're gonna smack down the Patriots and we're gonna walk out. We're gonna make Mac look bad, and the offense is gonna win. So don't you put that bad juju. Don't you put that bad juju on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that bad juju on me. Joe, no.
Wow.
No. Don't you do it. Do you think Dane remains the starter when Trey comes back? It really depends on what they do with Levi Wallace, because I have a feeling that Dane's going to be Levi's replacement. Like, we're going to have a number that we're going to offer Dane. If he gets more elsewhere and moves on, they're going to go to Dane. If Levi gets the offer and gets more money elsewhere, so be it. They're going to. I'll tell you, that's one thing I love about Bean is he doesn't overpay. He gives a number of what they value, and he tells you guys, if you can get more than this, I tell you to take it.
Yeah, he did that with Phillips.
He did that with Shaq too.
Yep.
Yeah. He told them all. He told Milano and all those guys this year too. If you get more than what we're offering, you take it. They all just wanted to come back because they said there was unfinished business. That's why they're back here.
Right.
It wasn't that they couldn't have gotten more because they could have. They wanted to be here.
No, I agree.
And I don't know if you heard Ed Oliver's comments this week. He talked about, how he says, I don't feel like McDermott saved my life, but he did save my career. He's like, because I've talked to a lot of old, a lot of old OGs in this league, older cats in this league, who tell me that how their locker rooms are run compared to how it's run here is completely different. Because you have to remember, Oliver came in and then they said, he had an attitude. He's like, I came here and I learned, it's a family atmosphere. He's like, we're lucky.
Yeah. And the player, listen, the players love it. It's like a fan. I know I'm sure every fan base says it's about their team, or at least a lot. But I believe that. I believe this group of guys, they're like family, man. They all treat each other like family, man. This is the defense loves the offense players, man. You see it. Like, they all just love each other. They all love Josh too. And Josh is the key, Mikey. When Josh was drafted here, let's be real. Josh is just he's a great person. He's a great person off the field, on the field, and the players love the hell out of him. And they're going to go to war for him. And we're blessed to have Josh Allen, man.
Yeah. He's a Buffalo Bill through and through. Like, he is very much follows the Buffalo work hard model, the blue collar type. He ingrains his fabric in how Buffalo is. And I'm a West Coast guy, but from what I could see from what I hear all the time, and I've never been to Buffalo, but from what I hear from everybody, he fits that community perfect. He fits Bill's Mafia, and that's global perfect.
Yeah, no, he does. He really does. You know what, too, though? A lot of players, too, on this team, surprisingly, like Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, they are Buffalo guys, and they're not from there. They're not from there, but they just, something about it. They almost act like they're from there, right? Like, it's great to see, man. We don't have any selfish me guys on this team. I just love that as well,
it's
man.
A bunch of cast-offs. If you think about it, Micah Hyde was a cast-off from the Packers. Jordan Poyer was a cast-off from Cleveland.
Yep.
Yeah, from Cleveland. A lot of these guys are cast-offs that McDermott's like, dude, that guy could play for my team. And they came over here, and he
McKenzie, even McKenzie was a Denver Broncos practice squad.
Yep. And they all get along in the locker room. Like, Poyer was on Pat McAfee's show.
Yeah, I saw. Yep.
Yeah, and he was talking about how the defense loves watching the offense. He's like, I just thank God I'm not the one that has to go against them.
Right. To be the one to tackle 6'6"
McCormick is bigger right-handed Tua. Snorkel McCormick is a bigger right-handed Tua.
Oh,
wow.
God.
Oh, wow. This is a great show. I hope you guys aren't wrapping it up soon. No, we'll probably be on for about 30 more minutes. We usually take this about a 90-minute show. And from about here, we just go through your guys' comments. Whatever you guys want to talk about, me and Tommy are here to talk about it. Joe, all I meant was I'll be more disappointed if we only score 13-0. No? Or 44-27? I don't care. Win the ball.
I don't care if it's 3-0,
baby. Just win, baby.
Yeah. Now I'll come in here and rant a little bit after we win 3-0, but
listen,
but
13-0 is a double-digit win.
Yeah,
44-27 is a double-digit win. I will not be happy if it's 3-0. If it's 3-0, I'm
0 points. Yeah, that means our defense was unfucking believable. I'll take
And
it
our
all
offense
day.
did enough to win. You know?
I'll take it all day. We're moving on. Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, this is a great comment. Why? That's why they dumped Darius, Marcel Darius. He didn't fit the culture. That you are 100% right. I didn't even think about him. Him and Darby and Watkins, all those guys didn't fit what McDermott was trying to build.
Gilmore.
Yeah, they didn't fit what they were trying to build. They were very selfish. They were me people.
Yeah, that's why I was shocked when they brought Benjamin. And luckily for Josh, they got rid of that clown pretty quick.
Biscuit Benjamin. Oh god, that was horrible. Wins are the only scores that matters in the playoffs. You are 100% right. Spin. I think it's gonna. I want to see the double-digit wins. I want to keep that going because every win we've had this year has been by double digits. We're 0-5 in one-score games. I don't want to see any one-score games. I want the offense to put up points. I want the defense to continue to deny points and us walk away with a bunch of double-digit wins.
That's right.
Ooh, Dave, hot take. Pitt wins by 3.
No, it's not.
And the Raiders win by 7. Wow. If that happens, you'll have Pittsburgh in Tennessee and you'll have the Raiders in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's not happening. By the way, but I'll tell you what, the Raiders, I've been saying it all year about the Bengals, by the way. The Bengals are such a weird football team. They will I've been right, Mikey, I've been telling you this all year. They'll beat the hell out of a team like a Ravens team, and then they'll get spanked against the Jets. Like they're either hot or they're a mess. Mm-hmm.
But that's every team this year.
No, yeah, but the Bengals have been out. I mean, when they get beat, Mikey, they get beat bad. When have the Bills gotten really beat terrible?
The Colts. Just the Colts.
That's it. Exactly. So it hasn't. Look at the Bengals scoring. When they get beat like 41-10. Like it's like, whoa, what happened? So I can see the Raiders. Listen, if the Bengals have one of those sloppy games, it could be, Raiders could definitely beat them. Why not? But Pittsburgh, nah, man. I think the Chiefs have just too much firepower, too much speed. Their defense has been playing better as of late. I just can't see it.
Ben would have to get a fountain of youth.
He would.
Yeah,
and their defense would. Yeah, and their defense. It's not even their defense would really have to play physical.
JJ Watt would have to be eating Mahomes lunch over and
over. Yeah, be physical like we did against Kelsey. Mm-hmm. Take him out of the game and Hill, but I can't see it. I don't see it happening. But hey, you never know.
You know what? I'll be perfectly honest with you. Why? I will be okay if JJ Watt just continuously crushes Mahomes all day long, win or lose. Put some bruises on that man.
Yeah.
Yep. Put some bruises on that man.
Mm-hmm.
Ben and Tomlin playing for the careers,
Not Tomlin.
Tomlin. If they were dumb enough to let Tomlin go, he would have a job.
No,
he would have the pick of his job. He would have the pick of his jobs.
Yep.
He'd be at the top of everybody's list. The dude's never had a losing season.
Nope, never.
He would have the pick of his job.
That'd be the biggest mistake in Pittsburgh history.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, if I won and I got axed and I had to pick one, I'm going to Minnesota. With that offense?
I was saying that's what I was saying on my show earlier. Glad you brought that up. If it was my choice, Dable's perfect opportunity. Job? No, I'm saying Dable. If it was Dable, let's say his for me, Dable, his best spot if he could get hired there would be Minnesota.
Yep,
he has the weapons there already in place, and then I would think Frazier for the Bears would be a great fit, in my opinion.
Me too.
But anyone going to the Dolphins, yikes! I feel bad for you guys.
I wouldn't want to go to the Dolphins just because Greer's still there.
That's what I mean. And the owner's clueless.
He has been. Very much the Dolphins and the Texans are the two I would not want to go to because their owner has sided with one side. So unless you can get along with Greer, because let's be honest, B-Flo was good. Flores was a good coach.
He is good. He'll get a job. Mike,
I don't
I'd
get
be shocked
his
if he doesn't.
coaches hired. I don't get his offense coordinator, dual offense coordinator thing, but he's a good coach. He's going to get hired somewhere.
He will. I'll be shocked if he doesn't, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The worst case, you'll get a defensive coordinator position, and then he'll get hired as a head coach the following season. That's the worst thing I could see, but
I did
I'd be
not.
shocked.
Yeah. Did you see
Yeah, he
Kyle
was
Williams on
I did.
GMFB's one?
Yeah, he was
what he
in
said?
like
I
in
missed
the
it.
woods. He was somewhere in like the country with like birds chirping in the background. It was kind of funny, but he's a great guy. Now they were just talking about the 2017 Bills when we made the playoffs, and he didn't realize he thought we didn't make the playoffs at first because there was a penalty. So he walked away.
Oh, yeah.
And when he was walking in the locker room, he saw that they were still playing. And he's like, what happened? And then we made the play happen. So yeah, it was pretty cool, man. He was talking about pretty much about that. And
yeah, Dave, Pitt's been talking about letting Tomlin go for a few years now. He just keeps winning. Like they give him a crappy team, and he just keeps finding a way to get winning records, so they can't let him go. They did the same thing to Cowher before Tomlin. They kept talking about, like, the last few years. They kept talking about him leaving too. They because he's been there for so long. They want something new. Why do you want something new if it's working?
Yeah, I don't get it. And he's a young coach too, by the way. Like he's still he's not like this old, 80-year-old coach. He's losing it. Like he's still pretty young. I want to.
Jonathan asked a great question. Who do you think is going to be the OC if Daboll gets a job? Who do you think is going to be the OC? And do you think we take a step back? Me and you both think it's very much going to be Dorsey. I know that.
Yes.
But when I was talking with Mario and Paul and some other people, they felt like they could go outside, and get more.
I would hate. I don't like it. I don't.
You
I don't like it. I don't. Listen, Dorsey, he's been around football a while. This isn't like a guy who just got on the scene, rookie, a young quarterback coach, and we're like, oh, got to put our faith in this guy. He's been around football, Mikey, and he knows this system, right? He knows what works right now. He could tweak it up to his own liking. And man, he's Josh Allen's quarterback coach. I mean, who else would you want, right, to step in? You go outside.
He was in the running also when we hired Daboll. He interviewed for that job.
Yeah,
and then we brought him in as the quarterbacks coach. And right. I think he's always been the logical next step. Like whether if he doesn't get an OC job with us, he's getting an OC job either with Frazier or with Daboll when he goes.
Yep, I agree.
He's going to be an OC.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
And I'll tell you, I don't know if you heard of it. When Jonathan Vilma did our games, he talked about him. He's like, he's one of the smartest dudes around. Like the dude knows what he's doing. Like I want to see Dorsey. I have a feeling Dorsey, not only would he somewhat keep the offense the same, I think he would just infuse a little bit of his own wrinkles.
He'd tweak it up.
I don't think we would have to learn a new scheme.
Nope.
He would just
exactly. You bring in an offensive coordinator from a new OC, right? You're gonna switch everything's up. It's gonna be his philosophy. Maybe the players don't like it, right? Maybe they're just not buying into it. Then you got a problem. You got a problem in Buffalo, right? Like I don't want that. I want everything to kind of just stay smooth, right? Okay, these guys are leaving the nest. Well, we got these other guys, right? They're still in the nest. They're still here, right? That's why I like just stay in house, man. Stay in house. Stay with Dorsey. He's a smart guy, bro. I think they gave him that promotion for a reason, Mikey. I really truly that, and I think that's why Dorsey's staying.
Also, Allen and Dorsey's relationship, they're very close.
Yep.
There's so much trust between them. And, having Daboll leave, if you let Dorsey walk out the door too, you're just going to piss off Allen. Why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I love these. A lot of people are talking about Joe Shane, because Joe Shane's also being interviewed. I think he should get a job. Joe Shane is a smart individual. I'd love to see him be packaged much like Bean and McDermott were, with either Frazier or Daboll, wherever they go. I'd love to see Daboll and Shane in Minnesota because they already have a set. And I'll tell you, I believe Kirk Cousins would best fit in this type of offense, that short pass Tom Brady offense that Daboll has. Yeah. He'd be fantastic in that. They have Cook. They have a running game. They have a defense like that. Whoever gets that job has the makings of first year playoff.
Why said tweak it and chase the dragon?
Any other drug terms? Chasing the dragon.
Oh my God. No, but listen, Spin, to what Spin said right there. I don't, or in Matthew, I don't think, why would he go with them on a team that's rebuilding? Because listen, anywhere they're going, not rebuilding necessarily, but they're a team that needs help, right? That's why they're hiring a coach. If I'm Dorsey, why would, and I have the opportunity to stay and get hired as the office coordinator, why would I go with them? It would make no sense for Dorsey to do that when you have everything in place that you want right there. You got your quarterback, you got your receivers. That's what I'm saying. And you got the main man, right? You got the best quarterback in the league, man. Why would you go anywhere else?
A guy you helped build.
Right. I
because here's the thing. I think
nowhere.
Dorsey helped build Josh Allen to what he is today.
100%.
If Dorsey takes over as OC and then knocks it out of the park, maybe we get better next year and we're the top rated offense. Dorsey's going to launch to the top of head coaching candidates.
Right.
Would you want to walk in? So if you had your choice, would you want the Minnesota's offense? Would you want Buffalo's offense, or would you want Chicago's offense? Exactly. As going into just saying those are the three that Daboll, Frazier, and McDermott's at. You get to choose where you want to go. I'm staying with Josh Allen, personally.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I'm staying with Josh Allen, and not only that, don't forget, Mikey, the head coach McDermott. He has a good relationship with him. Right? He has a good relationship with this whole team. You go to a whole new organization, you don't know the GM there. You don't know if you're going to be cool with the GM or the owner, right? Like you don't know what's going on. You don't know about the players yet. Mm-hmm. They could be, locker room could be miserable. I mean, just saying, like, I don't know. If believe me, Dorsey's best option, if he gets it, stay right at home where you've been, get your roles.
It's not even for Dorsey, for Buffalo. Buffalo's best option would be Dorsey. Tricks nails it. Tricks hits it on the head, and he says, having a OC with who was a high level college quarterback, a seasoned backup in the NFL, sees the game, in a quarterback's eyes, because he played the game himself. Like we couldn't ask for a better. That's why Kellen Moore is. That's why Kellen Moore is doing so well in Dallas, is because he was a quarterback. He played, in bowl games at Boise. He went to Dallas and he became an offense quarterback. He understands the quarterback position.
Yeah.
If you see the game that way, it helps you.
Look at Jordan Palmer, who's helped Josh Allen tremendously. Mm-hmm. He never made it in the NFL. Never.
Why? Highmark Stadium. Scott Blake comes in and says Fangio would be a good replacement for Frazier. I would love Fangio.
Yeah.
Fangio is one of the elite defensive guys. Yes. He is. I have a feeling Fangio's going to. I wouldn't mind. I have a feeling Fangio's going to end up, if Harbaugh comes into the league, that's where Fangio's going to go. He's going to link up with Harbaugh again. He was his DC in Stanford. He was his DC for the 49ers. He didn't move on from Harbaugh until Harbaugh left, and then he went to Chicago. Yeah. But yeah, I would love to have a Fangio. He's fantastic.
Why says Jim Schwartz? I liked him a lot too.
I wouldn't mind a Jim Schwartz either.
Yeah, he was a very good defensive coordinator.
There's a lot of guys out there that I wouldn't mind. Spectrum says Harbaugh's not leaving Michigan.
I don't think so either. I don't.
If I was him, I wouldn't. They love him there. He's they just gave him a bunch of money. Like, do you want to go deal with a bunch of millionaires, or do you want to control your 18-year-olds?
Right. And they're finally back on top. They're finally, he's finally getting the right players on board.
After I read that article about Zimmer, I want no part of Zimmer.
Oh, no, I don't like Zimmer.
Like, he wouldn't fit our culture.
No.
Matthew Harmon said the same thing I did. He came in and said Zimmer doesn't fit our culture. Miami owner just put $750 million into Michigan. Yeah, Miami's owner wants Harbaugh to stay.
Yeah, he's from Michigan. He's a Michigan guy. He's not trying to take him.
Spen asked what article. There was an article that came out to where some of the players were talking about Zimmer, and said that he was always putting the blame on someone else. He always pointed the fingers. He refused to accept any kind of accountability. He ruled by fear. You know what I mean? That's how he tried to do things. He ruled by fear, and then he got very paranoid and wouldn't take accountability for anything. It was always someone else's fault. And you can't have a leader that leads like that. If you Google it, you'll find it. There's like a couple of the players came out and there's a big article about it. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you guys being here. On the night before. We're almost 90 minutes into this thing, and you guys are still riding with us. So I appreciate you.
Man. Yeah,
but,
man.
As we start to move along, Tommy, it's time. Prediction time and X Factor time.
All right.
So what's your prediction, Tommy?
All right. So we're gonna do X Factors first. So how are we doing this?
No, do predictions first. Predictions first.
So score predictions. All right, here we go. Drum roll. 27-14 Buffalo Bills. Whoop that ass, man. I don't think it's close. I think our defense has been tearing it up, and we are not going to let a rookie quarterback come into our home field in the playoffs. Bills Mafia rocking. He is going to be under so much stress, Mikey. We are going to stop that run. It is not going to look good for Patriots. 27-14.
And I have it 31-16.
Woo! I like it, Mikey. You're
31-16.
Yeah, I like it.
I have it 31-16. I don't think the Bills are going to be on point every drive, but I think we're going to put enough together to have a big game. Because last few weeks we're like, man, we really haven't played that well, and then at the end of the day we're in the high 20s, low 30s, and we beat them by 2 scores. Like crap. Okay, that escalated quickly. So 31-16. X Factors, Tommy. X Factors. And yes, DH, I agree. If McDermott wins the Lombardi this year, he's the greatest head coach the Bills have had.
Of course.
I love Levy. If he brings that home, he's already top 2. Like what McDermott's been able to do in the 5 years here, he took a program that was, a laughingstock and made him legit contenders.
We're going to be honest. Gutter.
We were laughingstock. Yeah,
we took us out of the gutter. He took us out of the gutter, right? So did Bean, and and cleaned us all up, right? And welcomed Bills Mafia back to a 4 out of 5 playoff team, by the way. Okay. X Factors. I'm gonna say Motor Singletary for the 3rd game in a row, baby. Motor Singletary. I'm saying over 100 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns. Count them, baby. 2. On defense, X Factor, because I said that strip sack fumble, I'm going to go Mario Addison with the strip sack fumble.
Okay.
Yeah.
On offense, X Factor. It's going to be Davis. Davis is going to come up big.
Ooh, Gabe. Okay.
Gabe Davis. He's going to have a touchdown or 2. And then on defense, it's going to be the big man in the middle himself, Horrible Harry.
Oh, all right. Horrible Harry getting an X Factor nod. First of the season for Mikey.
I'm giving him a Horrible Harry. He may not get all the sacks and everything, but he's gonna create so much disruption in the backfield. It's gonna lead to a ton of freaking sacks. He's gonna be an X Factor in this game. Maybe not from a stats wise, but from a game wrecking wise.
Okay. I don't hate it.
I mean, Triggs, you can always take JA. I mean, that's just a given. Everything. That's just taking, I mean, as it is, I feel
now we count the MVP of the game. Fine. Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Every time. Come on.
I feel like, Tommy's taking low hanging fruit by taking Singletary every week. On
offense.
I'm always looking for that extra guy who's going to just put
Hey, I'm sorry. Oh, hanging fruit. If I would have said Singletary week 13, week 12, you would have been laughing at me.
I would have been like, okay, I like that one. Scott, don't say that. Scott, no.
Nah, ain't no.
Don't take us to overtime.
Ain't no overtime.
Oh, DH, I like it. Dawson Knox.
Hey, I did say Knox he'll have. Remember Joe? If Joe's still on here, he said no receiver will have his over 6 catches. I say Dawson Knox has 8.
Ooh, I like this one. Jonathan comes in. X Factor. Dane Action Jackson. I feel a pick 6 this game or a fumble recovery to the house. I love it. Ooh, hot takes in here. Triggs, Josh in 238 with 88 on the ground, 2 TDs and 2 rushing TDs.
I like it.
And he has one of his
And
signature hurdles. And his
Right.
signature hurdle. Wow, I love it. I love it, guys. I love it. Bring all of it. Bring it all. I love every second of it. Oh no, OT. We're gonna just put him down during.
Fuck out of here with the OT, says Matt.
No OT. Why?
See, I know the FOH
macaroni.
though. I know the FOH.
Yeah. Macaroni. Addison's gonna eat some macaroni.
Oh.
Yep. Gonna eat some. So, Tommy, what do you got on tap?
Hey guys, tomorrow it's gonna be a great show. Tomorrow is Saturday at 4:00. AFC East Shakedown. It's my final episode of the season. I'm going to have special guests on. Dom Brown, if you guys know him, he did the rap song for the Bills Mafia. Great song. If you guys haven't checked him out, go on YouTube. Dom Brown. He will be on. Also, Curtis from Ace Per Head Studios. He will be on as well. Captain D will be on. Trevor and Juan from Sports Dynasty Podcast. It's going to be a very good show. Then on Saturday post game, I will be on hashtag. So will Mikey. So will Joe from Believers Talk as well to do a post game. And then, guys, real quick, I do want to say one more thing, Mikey. Marquez Sullivan. If you guys don't know who it is, check him out. He was a Buffalo Bills offensive lineman from 2001 to 2003. I am planning on having him come on as a guest probably in the next week and a half, 2 weeks. And it's going to be a great show. And Mikey might be on with us as well. And we'll be talking about those 2000 Buffalo Bills team, especially the 2002 Buffalo Bills team with Drew Bledsoe, Eric Mullins, Peerless Price, Travis Henry, a team that went 8-8, and how the hell did that happen? But that's it, Mikey. That's all I got for you. I mean, that's Mafia Sports Report, guys.
Yep, absolutely. Check him out. Show Tommy some love over on his channel as we're trying to grow that thing. And then you can find me on Twitter, at Apex006. Also find me here every Friday night on Tailgate Talk. You can randomly find me on Tommy's show. And then I will be on the post game. We'll have a hashtag post game. All of us will be on to talk about it. And I believe we're going to do that all postseason long, is we're going to have us all together for the to talk about all the Bills dubs, all the big dubs. Yep. So with that, we'll have a word from, we'll close this thing out with our word from Mr. Rogers.
Go Bills!
Go Bills.
Hello, fellow Bills fans. Sean Rogers, Realtor and lead of the Mr. Rogers Homes team. Did you know that real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth, and right now is one of the best times to own an investment property in Arizona? Please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions so we can take the next step to your financial freedom here in the Valley of the Sun, utilizing real estate. As always, God bless America and go Buffalo!